Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of At Home with Dr. Science. I'm Dr. Science Brian Williams, and I'm joined again by my little girl, by Kaya. So today, Kaya and I are going to introduce you to a really great science activity that helps you learn about the states of matter. So matter is the stuff that's all around us. And we tend to learn about three different types of states of matter when we're in school. Kai, what are those three types of states of matter?
Solids, liquids, and gas.
Yeah, solids, liquids, and gases. What's an example of a solid? Give me an example of a solid.
Ice.
Ice, yeah. Ice would be an example of a solid. How about a liquid?
Water.
Water, yep. And a gas?
Water vapor.
Water vapor, yeah. So if we're talking about water, three different types of states of matter. Solid ice, liquid would be water, and the gas would be water vapor. Now, of course, there are other types of states of matter. What's another type of state of matter?
Plasma.
Yeah, plasma, the stuff that stars are made out of. Plasma is another type of states of matter. So today, we're going to play with something very interesting that seems to be a bit of two different types of states of matter. So what you're going to need for this activity, some cornstarch and some water. That's it. Very, very simple. So we're going to start. I've put my cornstarch in another container so that it's easier to kind of scoop out. And we're going to start by adding about three nice big scoops of cornstarch to our container. Three nice big scoops of cornstarch. And the recipe basically is for every 2 scoops of cornstarch, we're going to add 1 cup of water. And you got to play with this recipe. There's really no exact recipe. You kind of got to get the recipe right as it feels. So Kai is going to add our water. So we're going to add 2 cups of water. We want to add the water kind of slowly, all over. There you go. And one more. Oh, that's perfect, perfect, perfect. So for those of you that may spend a little bit of time in the kitchen, it looks like we're making gravy, right? But what we're actually making is a really cool substance called Oobleck. So I'm going to let Kaya get her hands dirty. Go ahead and get your hands in there. Start mixing that around. I'll let you get started and I'll join you in a little while. And so what Kaya is doing is just mixing the cornstarch with the water. And what you want to do is you want to get everything mixed out really, really evenly. And when you've got the consistency just right, it's going to be about the consistency of a really thick honey. And you'll know when you got it right because all of a sudden it'll start performing and doing some really, really amazing things. So Kaya's mixing. I'm going to get in here and help you mix a little bit, okay? All right. So we're going to mix together. And you'll notice after a while, it starts getting harder and harder to mix it up. And that's when you know that it's kind of working. So what we're making is called Oobleck. And Oobleck is what's called a non-newtonian liquid. So when we think about a liquid, it tends to do certain things, right? It takes the shape of the container that you pour it into. It tends to flow at a specific rate, and it tends to do that in the same way all the time. Well, Oobleck actually responds to pressure and stress. And so it changes whether you push on it or you kind of release it and let it just kind of flow on its own. So when you squeeze it and you put it under pressure or put it under stress, it actually changes from a liquid into a solid. And you can actually pick it up and hold it in your hand. You can roll it into a ball and hold it. And as soon as you stop squeezing it, it changes right back into a liquid and kind of flows right out of your hand. So that's really an amazing substance. It's somewhere between a solid and a liquid. It's what's called a non-newtonian liquid. Other examples of non-newtonian liquids are things like blood, toothpaste, shampoo, honey, even ketchup. That's right. So when you hit the bottom of the ketchup bottle, it causes the ketchup to move from a solid to a liquid and flow out of the bottle and onto your hot dog. Now, there are videos out there of people kind of walking on this stuff, making big, gigantic tubs of Oobleck and walking on it. But here's one of the things I like. You can take your hand, let the Oobleck kind of settle out, and with most liquids, when you take your hand and you smack them, they splash. And we're gonna see if that happens with the Oobleck. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Pretty good smack, huh? You wanna try? Yeah, and you don't get a splash because as soon as our hand hits the Oobleck, it changes from a liquid into a solid. So this is an amazing little substance called Oobleck. Hours and hours of fun, and with some very basic materials. So I encourage you, grab some cornstarch, grab some water, do a little science. Oh yeah, and there's that other little fact, right?
That if you're in the woods and there's nothing other than Oobleck, that you can eat it.
Yes, Oobleck is edible. So if you're ever trapped in the woods with some cornstarch and some water, you can eat your science. All right, I'll see you next time. Do some science.